I'm 79 years old, and for most of my life I believed my father knew what he was doing. I believed that because I needed to. He's been gone for years now, and I'm not angry with him anymore, but I'm still living with what he passed down to me. I'm only saying this now because there isn't much time left, and because pretending otherwise hasn't helped anyone. When you reach this age, time changes shape. It doesn't stretch out in front of you anymore. It gathers behind you. Some days it feels heavy, like it's pressing on your back. Other days it's quiet, almost polite, like it's waiting for you to notice it. I'm not telling this story to settle scores or to make sense of everything. I don't think everything makes sense. I'm telling it because I spent most of my life following rules that sounded solid, and I didn't realize how much they were hollowing me out until it was too late. My father was not a cruel man. That's important to say. He worked hard. He showed up. He didn't drink, didn't gamble, didn't disappear. In our house, those things counted as love. He believed a man proved himself by enduring, by not complaining, by keeping his head down and his feelings private. He believed tenderness made you weak and questions made you ungrateful. He never said those things out loud as rules. He lived them, and I watched. I grew up thinking that was what adulthood looked like. You woke up early. You did what was expected. You didn't talk about what hurt. You didn't linger. You moved on. When my mother cried, he went quiet. When I cried, he told me to stop. Not angrily, just firmly. As if feelings were a mess you cleaned up quickly so you could get back to work. When I was young, that seemed reasonable. The world he came from didn't reward softness. He survived things I never fully understood, war stories he didn't tell, losses he never named. I mistook his silence for strength. I mistook his distance for discipline. And when I became a man, I tried to become him. In my 20s, I worked long hours and felt proud of it. I thought exhaustion meant I was doing something right. I didn't see the harm in coming home late or leaving early. I told myself there would be time later, when things settled down. That's what my father always said, later. When the bills were paid, when the job was secure, when the kids were older. Later became a habit. I married a good woman, patient, observant. She noticed things I didn't. She used to tell me when something felt off between us. I didn't know what to do with that. My father never talked about feelings, so I didn't either. I thought providing was the same as participating. I thought staying was the same as being present. When she asked for more conversation, more warmth, I felt accused. Even though she wasn't accusing me, I felt like I was failing at something I didn't understand. I remember sitting at the kitchen table one night, paperwork spread out, her across from me, quiet. She asked me if I was happy. It caught me off guard. I said of course I was. I had a job, a house, a family. That was the checklist. She nodded, but her face didn't change. I went back to my papers. That moment stays with me now. Not because it was dramatic, but because I didn't see it as important at the time. I raised my children the same way I was raised. I taught them to be tough, to not complain, to earn their place. I praised them for achievements, not for curiosity. I corrected them when they showed too much emotion. I thought I was preparing them for the world. I didn't realize I was teaching them to keep their distance from me. There were small moments I ignored, school plays I missed because work ran late, conversations cut short because I was tired, questions answered with instructions instead of listening. None of it felt catastrophic. That's the danger of it. Damage doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just accumulates quietly, like dust in corners you don't check. My father aged the same way. He worked until his body wouldn't let him anymore. When he retired, he didn't know what to do with himself. He sat in his chair and watched television, barely speaking. I visited him out of duty. We talked about weather, repairs, things that didn't require honesty. I don't remember ever asking him if he was afraid. I don't remember him asking me anything personal either. When he got sick, it happened fast. Hospital rooms have a way of stripping things down, machines humming, time stretched thin. I sat by his bed and tried to think of something meaningful to say. Nothing came. All those years of silence don't suddenly turn into language when you need it. He looked smaller than I remembered, less certain. For the first time, I wondered what it had cost him to live the way he did. He died without saying much. I don't blame him for that. He only knew one way to be. But standing there afterward, I felt something break open in me. Not grief, exactly. Recognition. I saw the shape of my own future, and it frightened me. Still, I didn't change, not right away. Habits that took decades to build don't collapse overnight. I kept working, I kept quiet. My marriage wore thin, we didn't fight much. We just drifted. By the time we admitted how far apart we were, there wasn't much left to repair. She left with sadness, not anger. That was harder. My children grew up, they moved away. Calls became occasional, visits polite. I told myself that was normal, that kids leave, that independence was the goal. But sitting alone in the evenings, I wondered why independence felt so much like absence. The turning point didn't come with fireworks. It came with a doctor's voice, calm and careful, explaining limits. It came with noticing how quiet the house was. It came with realizing no one needed me the way I thought they did. When productivity fades, when roles disappear, you're left with whatever connections you've maintained. I hadn't maintained many. I started replaying moments, not the big ones, the small ones. Times I could have stayed a little longer, listened a little better, asked one more question. I don't think my father ever did that either. I think he believed love was understood without being spoken. It isn't. It erodes without care. There are things now that can't be fixed. My father is gone. I can't ask him why he believed what he did. I can't tell him I wish we'd talked. My marriage exists only in memory. My children are adults with lives shaped partly by my absence. Time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't return things because you finally understand their value. I don't hate my father. I see him more clearly now. He did what he knew. But what he taught me about life was incomplete. He taught me how to survive, not how to stay connected. He taught me endurance, not intimacy, and I mistook one for the other. If you're listening to this and you're younger, I'm not here to instruct you. I don't believe in telling others how to live. I only know what it cost me to wait. To assume there would be more time to soften, to speak, to show up differently. There isn't as much time as you think. Not because life is short, but because attention is. People remember how you made them feel, not how reliable you were. They remember warmth more than provision. I learned that too late. I spent years being respected and ended up alone. Respect without closeness is a thin reward. These days, I try to speak more honestly. I tell my children I love them, even if it feels awkward. I listen more than I talk. I can't undo the past, but I can at least stop adding to the silence. Some days they respond, some days they don't. I accept that. I sit in the mornings with my coffee and let myself feel whatever comes up. Regret, gratitude, sadness. They mix together now. I don't push them away anymore. There's no point. This is what's left. It's quieter than I expected. Not peaceful, just quiet. If this meant something to you, sit with it for a moment. That's all. I don't have a lesson wrapped up neatly, just a life lived under assumptions that didn't hold up. I believed strength meant distance. I was wrong. I believed time would wait. It didn't. I'm 79 now. I don't have many years ahead of me. I don't know how many. I know I'm done pretending I understand everything. If there's one thing I wish I'd known earlier, it's that love needs action while there's still room to act. Everything else can wait. That can't. I'll leave it there. There's not much more to say. Some truths arrive late and stay with you quietly. This is one of mine.